Today we're going to talk about something that happens behind closed doors, a delicate financial dance between retired parents and their adult children. And this isn't just about money. It's really about your identity, your security, and the peaceful, dignified future you've worked so hard for. So let's get right into it.
You know how it starts. It's quiet, a little hint about some rising expenses, maybe a casual mention of a dream project they just can't seem to afford. And that's the moment it hits you. The moment you realize your adult children might be looking at your retirement fund not as your lifeline, but as their backup safety net. This feeling, this friction, it's very real, and it is happening in so many homes. It's this unspoken tension that can just eat away at your peace of mind and, honestly, your financial security if you don't address it. Now, this friction, it usually isn't about greed. Not at all. Research actually points to this fascinating idea called the provider residue. I mean, think about it. For 40, maybe 50 years, you were the financial engine of the family. You provided, you supported, you rescued, and that role has left this powerful psychological mark, a residue on your kids' expectations. They're not being malicious, they're just running on an old script where you're the permanent provider. And just understanding that is the first step, because it takes the personal sting out of it and shows you what's really going on underneath. So let's pull back the curtain on this hidden family friction. We're going to decode the unspoken assumptions that are creating all this tension and really get to the heart of why your reality has changed, even if your family's perception of it hasn't caught up yet.
This slide just nails the core of the problem. It's what we call the legacy mismatch. So when you look at your assets, your home, your retirement accounts, you see your security. This is your lifeline, right? It's the money that's supposed to guarantee your care, your dignity, your independence for the next 10, 20, even 30 years. But your children, well, they're still influenced by that provider residue, and they might see those exact same assets a little differently. To them, it's the proof of the family's shared success. They kind of grew up with this infinite resource idea, where your financial well just never ran dry. So the key takeaway here is, you're not just managing money, you're trying to navigate this deep, deep mismatch in perspective.
And that leads us right here to your new economic reality. It is so important to understand that this isn't just a psychological thing. It's an economic one. The whole financial landscape of your life has had a seismic shift. The old rules are gone, and knowing that is absolutely key to protecting your future.
For your entire working life, you were in what's called the accumulation phase. Your focus was earning, saving, growing your money. There was always another paycheck on the horizon. But now, you are in the decumulation phase, and that is a total 180. You're no longer bringing in money, you are strategically spending down a finite pile. This is probably the single biggest gap in understanding between you and your adult kids. They're still accumulating, while you have to protect a principal that's got to last you for the rest of your life. Every dollar that goes out has a permanent impact.
So this economic gap gives birth to something we call quiet entitlement. Your kids, they're part of that sandwich generation, right? They're often facing higher living costs, way more economic pressure than you did at their age. And that pressure can create this unspoken and often totally unconscious assumption that your extra money, what they see as surplus, is better used to solve their very real, very current crisis, instead of being saved for your kind of abstract future care needs. It's a really dangerous mindset that puts their immediate wants directly against your long-term needs. So why then is it so incredibly hard to just say no? Well, there's some powerful psychology at play. First, there's the sunk cost of parenting. After you've invested decades of love, time, and money, your brain is just wired to keep investing to rescue them, to protect all that past effort. Then you've got the status threat. After you retire, your financial influence can feel like the last bit of power or relevance you have in the family, and saying no can feel like you're giving that up. And this can even lead to what's called financial role infidelity, where you hide your own money worries to keep up the appearance of being the all-powerful benefactor. Just acknowledging these pressures is a huge first step. And now, we're going to make the most important turn in this whole discussion. We're moving from just diagnosing the problem to actually embracing the solution, a powerful new way of thinking we call the sovereign mindset. This is all about making a conscious choice to shift your identity from being the family's provider to being the primary protector of your own future.
And this right here is the central question we have to answer. How do you gracefully move from being seen as this unlimited safety net, this automatic ATM, to becoming a sovereign fiduciary for your own life? A fiduciary, has a duty to act in the best interests of another person. And in this new mindset, that person is you. You are your own primary beneficiary.
This slide just captures the heart of that identity shift.
The old identity, the automatic ATM, saw your assets as family money, this resource you just happen to manage. The new identity, the sovereign lead, reframes your assets as a sovereign trust. This is a fund with a sacred purpose to finance your health, your independence, and your dignity for the rest of your life. You're the trustee, and you are the main beneficiary. This is not selfish, it is the highest form of responsibility you can take. It ensures you never, ever become a burden on the very people you love.
I want you to let this idea really sink in. When you give money out of guilt or pressure or just to avoid a fight, it almost always comes with a hidden cost, resentment. And that resentment can poison relationships. So, being clear and honest and firm about your financial boundaries, even if it feels uncomfortable at the moment, is ultimately an act of love and respect for both yourself and your kids. A clear, loving no is so much kinder than a check written with a heavy heart.
Okay, adopting the mindset is one thing, but putting it into practice, that's a whole other ballgame. So in this section, we're going to get really practical with a framework, a protocol to help you actually implement and defend your new financial sovereignty.
This is the Sovereign Protocol. It's a set of 5, what I like to call identity defense systems. They are the transparency wall, the strategic pause, the capacity audit, the non-cash pivot, and the legacy disclosure. Now, they're all important, but we're going to zero in on the 3 most critical tools you can start using right away.
All right, let's break down your core tools. First up, the transparency wall. This just means having a conversation before you're ever asked. You can say something like, just so you know, mom and dad's money is now dedicated to our long-term care so that we never have to ask you for a dime. See how that reframes your boundary as an act of love that actually benefits them? Second, the strategic pause. This is your superpower. When a request comes in, never give an answer on the spot. Your go-to line is, that's interesting, let me think about that, and I'll get back to you in a couple of days. That 48-hour buffer, it breaks the emotional impulse to rescue and lets your logical, sovereign mind take charge. And finally, the capacity audit. Before you even think about giving, you have to look at your finances and see if you have true discretionary overflow. You only ever give from that surplus, never ever from your core principle. That's the foundation of your future.
It is so crucial to understand this point. The Sovereign Budget Protocol isn't about being stingy. It's not about withholding help. It's about building thoughtful behavioral barriers. Think of them like guardrails that protect you from making emotional decisions, that defend you against pressure, and that preserve not just your money, but your energy and your peace of mind. They make sure that any help you do give is a conscious choice, not a reaction you feel cornered into. As we head into our final section, I really want to focus on affirmation. Adopting this new role, it takes courage, and it's so important to anchor it in a sense of wisdom and purpose. This is all about affirming your right to the secure and dignified retirement you spent your entire life building. I want you to really embrace these new titles. When you pause before spending on someone else's want, you are not being cheap. You are exercising tactical wisdom, something you've earned over a lifetime. When you set a boundary, you are not withholding help. You are securing the perimeter of your dignity for all the years to come. And you're not just retired anymore in some passive way. You have graduated. You are now a master of stewardship, the active, wise guardian of your own resources.
And look, this isn't just about feeling good. It has real, tangible benefits. Study after study shows that seniors who hold on to their financial control and their autonomy report much higher levels of life satisfaction, better mental health, and a stronger sense of purpose. Financial sovereignty is directly tied to your well-being. By protecting your assets, you are actively investing in a happier, more fulfilling life for yourself.
So, let's bring this all together under one final banner: your legacy, your lead. And to help you really anchor this new mindset, I've got a simple challenge for you.
And as you prepare to take the lead, let this be your mantra. Your children's now is not worth your forever. It's a hard truth. But if you bankrupt your future to solve their present, in the end, everybody loses. Prioritizing your own financial stability is truly the most loving thing you can do for your whole family.
So here's your challenge, and it's a gentle one. You don't have to do anything dramatic. The very next time any kind of financial request or even a hint comes up, your only job is to practice the strategic pause. You just say, "Thank you for sharing that with me. I need to think about it, and I'll get back to you." That's it. Just create that space. Feel the power that comes from not reacting, but from choosing how and when you respond.
As we close out, just remember this. Your financial principle isn't just money in an account. It is the concrete foundation of your future independence. It's what allows you to make your own choices, live in your own home, and get care on your own terms. Protecting it isn't selfish. In this new phase of your life, Learning to say no wisely is actually a high-level act of parenting. It models responsibility, and it protects your kids from the future burden of your care. So your work now is to audit the pressure, both from the outside and from within. Anchor your principle. Protect it like the sacred trust that it is. And above all else, lead your life with the calm confidence and the profound sovereignty that you have spent a lifetime earning. Thank you for being here with me today.